Hi there, my name is Samantha Ho. I'm the Communications and Administration Officer at Christ College, and this week we're privileged to have Scott Rae from Biola University to speak about bioethics, infertility and reproductive technologies. Thanks for coming today, Scott.
My pleasure, Sammy. Good being with you.
Now, you've been here before, but not many Australians would recognise your name, so I thought I might ask you a couple of questions for our audience to get to know you. The first one is, what music do you listen to when you're working?
Almost always classical.
Yes.
Baroque style, classical, Vivaldi, Mozart, Bach. I find it's the only music that's not distracting that I can actually work to.
Yes.
Very soothing, very calming, and it makes me feel like more of an intellectual to listen to classical music. It doesn't make me, but it makes me feel that way.
Sure. Yes, it is pretty relaxing. I just listen to hip hop and R&B. So we're talking about work today, as you might guess. And so I want to ask Scott the next question. What was your dream job when you were 10 years old?
My dream job was to be a sports broadcaster. I wanted to baseball and basketball.
Oh wow!
In fact, my best friend and I, growing up, we had an old reel-to-reel tape recorder where we would turn on a basketball game, turn the sound completely off, and we would broadcast the game. And it was radio station KNOT that's
yes.
not on your dial, for sure. But that's what I wanted to do. I thought if I could broadcast sporting events, that'd be just the best you could imagine.
Yep. Your first paid job?
My first paid job was as a sports writer.
Oh, so you actually fulfilled your dream
sort
partially.
for a very local newspaper, and I would summarize the week's youth baseball games. I think I was maybe 12 or so, and I had a pen name and everything. The pen name was Moses O'Malley, which I'd taken over from the previous person. But I would pick up all the stats and the score sheets from the games, and then write up a paragraph or two summary of what a dramatic game it was, whether it was or not. And then it was published every week. I think I got paid maybe $10 a week for it. Shortly after that, I say my first job where where I was expected to show up at 8 o'clock and work throughout the day was when I ran a printing press in my dad's company.
Wow, yep.
I think I was about 14. And he put me behind a printing press, and I was running it with all the rest of the guys who've been doing this for a living for a long time. And the summer after I turned 16, I ran the same press with the same job, 7 days a week, 12 hours a day.
Wow, that was
as a summer job. I made more money than I knew what to do with. But I remember it was the summer. In which Exxon as a brand appeared for the first time. Exxon, they had Enco, Esso, a number of oil companies all united under the brand name Exxon. Mm-hmm. And everything that went on gas pumps, the stickers that identified the gas that said Exxon, it came out of my dad's printing plant in Texas. So I printed Exxon Unleaded, Exxon Extra, 7 days a week,
wow.
12 hours a day for 3 months. That's all I did. I have never been so sick of looking at the same thing.
But did you have what was your number one takeaway point from that job?
That I wanted to stay in school.
Oh, okay.
I did not want to my dad had a great company, and the folks who I worked with were great people, but I could not see doing that for the next 40 years. Mm-hmm. So I thought, I'm going to make good grades and go to university and stay in school.
Yes.
That was a big takeaway.
Now you're a lecturer, and we'll hear more about that later. But what sort of work would you be doing if you weren't a lecturer? Would it be the sports commentator?
If I could.
Yep.
If I could, that would be really fun. I've been a pastor before. I don't think that's a great fit for my temperament. Being a professor or lecturer is a lot better just for how I'm wired. Boy, that's a really good question. I've just been doing this for so long.
Yes.
I can't. It's hard to envision doing anything else because it's been such a good fit. I know my wife's terrified of me retiring and not having, just hanging around the house. But I think if I could do anything at this age, I'd probably do something where I was in the research in the sciences.
Yeah.
Be a researcher in the sciences. Transitioning at my age is not an easy thing to do. So transitioning much of anything at my age is not going to be an easy thing to do. But I think I'd be inclined to do something where I could do research and feel like I'm contributing to the common good.
Cool.